And a good afternoon to you from the NFL Network newsroom. Patrick Claybon here. This is Inside Minicamp Live, Hour 2.
Roster reset is a pretty appropriate way to look at what the Raiders have been able to do.
Is this an issue at all that the wide receiver's out there announcing what's going to be before he's actually inked?
We saw Bill O'Brien on Hard Knocks last year say, hey, lie to everybody. This is much better than that. So
is this going to be another case of some New England wheeling and dealing?
Well, Cole, if you want to examine, I guess, both halves of the phrase wheeling and dealing, and we look at wheeling up. The minute we have a little poll on our favorite moment of the season, we're going to take a look back at our favorite one last thing this year in 2016.
Ian, I always loved your wife, and I loved your mother even more.
That's it. That's how the show ended that day after Thanksgiving. And now Ian and Charlie are back. Guys, what are some of your favorite moments? Was that it, looking back at the season? Because it was mine.
Ian, go first.
Mouth movie night. Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you guys bringing us such a crispy and delicious pizza.
Strong pizza there. I usually crush the pepper. I already ate a whole pizza.
Have you ever done two at a time like this? That right there is the only way you can watch football.
Can we get a napkin?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you
Or a
very
towel
much.
at least.
Yeah.
Great moments.
I'm
in
not
television
making a
history.
mess.
It's really good. I got to get this pepper.
Yeah, I bet you.
Oh yeah.
You going for the pepper? You gonna miss out on the pizza?
Only one per box. I had to get it before you.
Thank you.
Ahead to Father's Day, let's bring in NFL Network's Judy Batista. She had a chance to look at some really influential families and fathers in the NFL that could pass on their legacy to their children. Judy, tell us what you found. Just a bit of injury news from Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett. Let's go back to the scene there in Valley Ranch, Texas. That's where James Palmer is there. James, the accident will cost Darren McFadden a couple of months. What can you tell us about the incident and how this affects the game?
I agree. We would watch no matter what. My one last thing, guys. We talked about the inexact science of scouting. What about the inexact science of measuring intelligence? We'll never know how much value a team places on the Wonderlic test, but when the results are leaked, a lot of the times people just assign unfair stigmas about a player or how smart they are. We can't stop the leaks probably, but if you consume them, you can stop making assumptions about how smart somebody else is. If you could do that, that'd be a sign of intelligence. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Path to the Draft is coming up next.
In the first half of the season, the Raiders scored 25 or more points 5 times. In the second half of the season, they did not score more than 24 points. So consistency is what they're hoping to get from this offense going into 2006.
Gase was there.
Yeah, on the topic of that magic, Mike, we look over to the fantasy world on that side of things. Michael Fabiano, NFL Network's own fantasy expert, fantasy Hall of Famer as well. Won't change Thomas's fantasy value much. Late round flyer, says Fabs there, looking in on.
Let's put a pin on that one and remember that come September. Considering he and I had a couple fantasy trades this year, I will make sure to have some conversation with him.